What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in our country and in Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos and help us reach 400,000 subscribers. Yeah. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. Also, we're going to be revealing what's in that box and the winners of the $1,000 cash giveaway tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. So you can still guess today in this video. This will be the last chance to guess. So you can guess, you can comment down below. If you think you know what's in that box, this is your last chance to guess. Last chance to guess, comment down below. Last chance. So yeah, we'll be opening that box in the next video at 8 p.m. tonight. I'll have some special guests on the show, opening the box and revealing the winners. So stay tuned tonight at 8 p.m. Last chance to guess right now. Ding, ding, ding. Last chance. All right, so let's jump right in. We got a lot to talk about what's going on here in our country today. And here we go. President Biden just renominated federal chairman Jerome Powell for a second term, as you can see here. And this actually sent the stock market soaring today. President Biden was not really expected to renominate Jerome Powell. He was actually expected to nominate another guy, Lael Brainerd, who actually made the vice chairman. So because Lael Brainerd actually kind of aligns with Biden's kind of agenda a little bit. But nonetheless, he did re-nominate Jerome Powell as the Federal Reserve Chairman. This actually sent the stock market soaring up here today pretty significantly. The Dow Jones is up 208 points as of time of filming here today. The Dow Jones is just shy of 36,000, which is near record territory. You can see here, if we look at the one-year chart, we're near an all-time high for the Dow Jones stock index. So, yeah, pretty close to a one-year high. The Dow Jones is up near somewhere around 35% over the last 12 months, which is absolutely phenomenal to be up 35% in 1 year. So, yeah, so just for round numbers, that means if you had, if you had $100,000 in a 401k, that means that you made $35,000 in 1 year. Yeah, it's a lot of money. So if you had that in your retirement account or in your 401k or anything like that. So stocks have been on an absolute tear over the last year. And I'm surprised that the stock market actually went up today, because a lot of people were saying that if Jerome Powell reserved or nominated Brainerd as the chairman, that the stocks would actually go up more, because Brainerd would actually be a little bit looser with the monetary policy, and that Jerome Powell was actually going to be a little bit stricter on monetary policy and was going to kind of raise interest rates a little bit quicker than Brainerd would have. Powell would have raised, or Powell is going to raise interest rates here in 2022 a little bit faster than Brainerd would have been. So I'm surprised that President Biden did this. But nonetheless, the stock market did kind of jump here today after this nomination. So pretty interesting. Tesla stock is up over 40 points, 41 points, about 3.6% today. And a lot of the stock market is seeing green here today. So yeah, pretty interesting day already today. But, the problem is that the common man that doesn't own stock is having a lot of economic worries, according to a brand new Gallup poll. Yeah, and Americans' economic worries rose to pandemic highs this month, according to a new Gallup poll. But the level of concern still remains relatively low compared to historic trends. 26% of Americans told Gallup in a new poll that an economic related concern is the top problem facing this country, even though the stock market is hitting all-time high. That's because about 50% of Americans own stocks and about 50% of Americans don't. The have and the have-nots, unfortunately. 10% of those polled said the economy in general is the top problem in the United States, while 7% cited the high cost of living, inflation, and 5% said unemployment and jobs. Concern over the federal budget and deficit and federal budget are as well. The gap between the rich and poor, wage issues, fuel oil prices, and lack of money each received was 1% in the poll. By contrast, 74% of respondents named a non economic issue as the top problem the US is facing. I think that's just everything else combined. Republicans and independents were more likely to cite an economic issue as the top problem, according to Gallup. 30% of Republicans and 29% of independents pointed to an economic problem when asked about the most pressing issue facing the US, compared to only 18% of Democrats. This month was the first time since January 2017 that a double-digit percentage of US cited the economy in general as the most important problem facing the US. In September and October this year, only 6% of Americans said it was the top issue. Also, respondents citing inflation is now starting to creep up as the top issue has also increased amid the pandemic. Only 1% pointed to inflation as a leading problem back in September, which has now rose to 5% in October. The Labor Department has just recently released new statistics showing that inflation is at a 30-year high for inflation. Yeah. The last time at least 7% of Americans said inflation was a leading problem in the US was in April 2001. Yeah, and this really goes to show you that the bottom half, a lot of low and middle income Americans are still really struggling right now during this pandemic. And the problem is inflation is really making this worse. Price at the pumps, price for food, price for pretty much everything has gone up. I don't know if has the price of anything not gone up? Trying to think of has the price of anything not gone up? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. You let me know. But it feels like the price of everything has gone up, even just recently. So yeah, and that's kind of where your money is just really being dragged down right now. It just even feels just month by month right now because inflation is just really soaring right now. And that's where everything is really taking a toll. We do have that if you're on Social Security, you're going to be getting the 5.9% increase, but that feels like it's really not really going to be an increase. It's really just going to uh, kind of keep up with the Joneses. It's just going to kind of keep you in pace with the inflation, which is really the cost of living adjustment. It's kind of what it's designed to do. But a lot of millions of seniors really feel like they need something to get ahead a little bit. That's why we did have those two recent bills introduced here in the last week or two by Congress, the Social Security 2100 Act and the other act that I just did a recent video on that would raise the Social Security benefits by several $100s per month. And that is something that the Democrats might do in the next bill through the reconciliation process before the next midterm election. So I'm very hopeful that that is something that will be done here. Also, I'm very hopeful that student loan forgiveness, I don't have any student loans, I'm not a senior, but I do hope that this is something that will be done here actually before the next stimulus package, actually, for the student loans. But I do hope that there's going to still be a lot of different things here done, even in the midterm for a lot of people. Remember, they just actually did the SNAP increase as well in the midterm as well. They actually did that before this next stimulus package, the 25% permanent SNAP increase. So they are kind of still doing a lot of things. And then we also have this next stimulus package. Here is a Democratic Representative Ro Khanna from California speaking on that.
So we showed the video of the mosh pit there of celebration in the House. Were you a part of that?
I wasn't jumping literally, but I was jumping with joy in my heart. I'll tell you why. You know, France has had universal preschool since the 1800s. Since the 1800s. The École system there, it works. And you know what the biggest benefit of preschool is? It's for the working class and the middle class. The studies show it has the most impact in giving their kids a shot. We're going to do that for the first time in the United States. And then on climate, this is the biggest investment in climate this country has ever made. We're going to hit the president's goals with executive actions of climate emissions, carbon emissions by 2030. It's huge.
Paid family leave is in the bill, 4 weeks of paid family leave. It is something that Senator Joe Manchin has said repeatedly he can't support it. Why is it in the House bill, if that's the case?
Well, there are other senators who really want it in. I mean, if you value families, you should be for having people be able to take care of their families. This isn't about politics. This is about allowing people to have time to take care of their kids, to take care of their elderly parents. And I think other senators are going to really work to get this across the finish line.
OK, so now it's going over to the Senate. This bill, the Build Back Better Act as passed by the House, is not going to be the same when it comes back to the House after the Senate gets its hands on it. Are there red lines for you that you won't cross if that Senate bill comes over and there are certain provisions that were in it that you voted for aren't in the bill that comes back from the Senate?
Well, if the bill was significantly diluted on climate, it would give a lot of people pause. I don't expect that to be the case for two reasons. One, this is the framework the president negotiated, and he's confident it's going to pass the Senate. People said, oh, was it going to pass the House? He was right. It passed the House because he negotiated it. I have full confidence it'll pass the Senate. It's going to be 90% of what we pass.
Let me play you some sound from White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, what she had to say at the briefing on Friday.
This bill, no matter what, everybody supports universal pre-K, cutting the cost of childcare, a historic investment in addressing the climate crisis, making sure there's more housing units available, making sure elder care is less expensive. There are disagreements. Everybody knows that publicly, but he knows he's not going to get everything he wants in this package. If it's not in there, he'll continue to fight for it.
If it's not in there, he'll continue to fight for it. That's the president of the United States. If some provisions aren't in the bill that comes back from the Senate, will you continue to fight for them?
Absolutely. And one thing, Jonathan, I don't understand is the criticism over the process. This is how democracy is supposed to work. We all represent different constituencies. We work, we compromise. You know what the problem is? Only one side is playing in democracy, the Democrats. The Republicans refuse to play.
I'm going to get you on. We're out of time. I got to get you on one more thing. In the Washington Post yesterday, there was a big story about, Democrats worried about whether the president's going to run for re-election. And of course, the story says he will. But here's a key quote that I found interesting. Quote, President Biden will enjoy strong support from many progressives when he runs for re-election. He will certainly have mine, said Congressman Ro Khanna, Democrat, California. And this is the key piece, who co-chaired the campaign of Senator Bernie Sanders in 2020.
I've been very impressed with the president's leadership. He's taken progressive ideals and he's delivering the most possible under the times. He deserves re-election, but that's far away. Let's just first figure out how we're going to deliver for the American people.
Well, that is a good point. It is far away.
So, yeah, let's speak on what they mentioned there for a moment here, because this is kind of in the news here. President Joe Biden's age is 79. Okay, he's got 3 more years under his presidency. He'll be 82 years old. Okay, he'll be 82 years old when and if he runs for re-election. Okay, this is kind of a question that has kind of been in the news here recently. It's kind of always been there as well. Will he run for re-election? If he runs for re-election at 82 years old, he would be president from 82 to 86 years old. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think he will run for reelection? The other question here is former President Donald Trump, who is 75. He's 75, so he's a couple years older. He's 4 years older. I think 3.5, 4 years older. I'm sorry, younger. Yeah, younger. 3.5 to 4 years younger. Okay. And the question is, will he run as well? Not necessarily because of his age, but we've had a lot of stories in the news that he hasn't announced his if he's going to run yet or not. And the question about former President Donald Trump is, will he run again if he doesn't think he can win for sure? Because and again, this is just kind of a story in the news, and I don't want to pick sides or anything, and I'm not kind of going against him or going for him. But the question, there's a kind of question out there that will he run again if he's not 100% sure he can win? And honestly, nobody's 100% sure you can win a presidency, because when you go, I mean, the last presidency was so close, and even his presidency with Hillary, when he beat Hillary, but actually lost the popular election, but won based on the electoral votes. I mean, that's how close these elections are. Um, they're just unbelievably close, right? And there's some speculation that he might not run as Republican candidate, um, because he might not want to lose. So there's some speculation that President Biden might not want to run because of his age. There's some speculation that former President Trump might not want to run because he might not want to take a loss. There's some speculation that both of them might not want to run again. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that either of those are going to happen? Do you think there's going to be a rematch of both of them? Um, Biden versus Trump again? Do you think if there is a rematch of Biden versus Trump, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's too early to tell? Do you think it's too early to tell with Biden not even have been in there for 1 year? Do you think we really need a lot more to play out to see who is going to win? So honestly, if you kind of try to look forward through this, we have the physical infrastructure package that's passed. We're probably going to get the stimulus package passed here in the near future. That'll probably all be passed here within the first year of Biden's presidency. And then we still have 3 more years of Biden's presidency. Who knows what's going to even happen during that whole 4 years of Biden's presidency? And then we have the whole age thing, which is he'll be, what was it, 82, and Trump is, what is he, 75 now? Let me bring that back up. He's 75 now, but in 3 more years he'll be 78. So he'll be 78, and if he were to win at 78, he would go from 78 to 82. Yeah, so I mean, they're both. I think that Trump, if Biden weren't there, Trump would be the oldest president ever, and Biden is the oldest president ever. So yeah, they're both definitely the oldest and second oldest presidents ever up in there. So let me know your thoughts on that. But it's definitely going to be very interesting to see what happens here. The other potential candidate that's kind of in there is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with also because of the whole vaccine controversy, and he's kind of he battles against them, and some people love them for it or love him for it, and some people hate him for it, and he's kind of a controversial person as well. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can kind of say that with kind of everything, because I mean, these vaccines are just very controversial. You know, the whole pandemic's controversial, right? So yeah, we really have just what a time we live in, right? It's just we're trying to battle a virus just ravaging our whole country that seems to never ending. just be never ending. It's now we're back on the upswing. We're averaging almost 100,000 positive cases per day now. We're actually back on the up. It's just never going to end. What's 2022 going to be like? I remember being with you guys last year at this time, doing our What's in the Box contest from last year, saying, "Oh, well, 2020 is almost over with. Now we're going into 2021. Thank God 2020 is over with, and now 2021 is going to be over with." And I remember saying, "Okay, well, 2020 is over with. The worst has got to be behind us." My wife's laughing. And then now I remember reporting to you guys the story just like yesterday that 2021 has actually already had more deaths from the virus than 2020. And we're only in November. So we still have a whole nother month left to go. And so 2021 was actually worse than 2020. So, and so is 2022 going to be better? Or is it going to be worse? Because we thought 2021 would be way better, right? And it was actually worse. So it kind of makes you wonder, right? So here we are. We're going into 2022, and virus cases are back on the upswing. And it's just like, shouldn't things be getting better? But they're not. So, and here we are still passing more stimulus packages. Japan just passed a $500 billion stimulus package as well. And we just had a new lockdown in Austria. Australia just came off a 242-day lockdown. Can you imagine being in lockdown for 242 days? I mean, this is just stuff going on around all across the country, or all across the world, I should say. So, I mean, we're not the only people dealing with this. I mean, other countries are legit in lockdown, full blown lockdown. So they actually have it worse than we do, in a way, I guess. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. So in the 8 p.m. video, we'll be opening the box. I'll have some special guests on the show. We'll be revealing the winners, and don't forget, we're going to do this contest again in December. So definitely make sure to subscribe down below. Thanks for being a part of our family here, our extended family here on YouTube. Subscribing is completely free to do so. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country, and stimulus packages, stimulus programs, and other type of programs as well. You can click here to watch my newest video on utility assistance. You definitely want to check this video out if you haven't seen this. There's big utility assistance programs going on right now that you can get $500 to $1,000 or more. If you haven't watched that, make sure to watch that video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.